Here's how I made this crazy new jazz beat without any paid plugins. Let's start on the melody side, which consists of a couple of different layers. The first layer is the E-piano bright preset from Flex. It plays the main chord progression of the beat, which is A sharp major 7 to A7 to D minor 7. Sometimes you can play certain notes outside of the scale, like the C sharp and the A7. This chord adds a lot of tension and character to the chord progression and sounds way better than a regular A minor 7. These type of chords fit especially well into new jazz beats. The second layer is a very simple triangle wave at Vital with some slight chorus on it, and just plays the same progression. The third layer is another sound made in Vital, which kinda sounds like an E-piano with a filter on top. This layer follows the same progression, but instead of playing the whole chords, it only plays the root note and the fifth of the chord. Another element of the melody is very simple and repeating up, which is introduced in the beat drop. This is just a single saw wave with a filter and a subtle slide effect, so nothing too complicated. Lastly, we have another saw wave playing a little melody in the beginning of a bar to add more interesting sounds. It plays pretty far in the background because of the reverb and the slight chorus, which enhance the space and make the sound more stereo. That's already everything about the melody, so let's move on to the drums. Starting off simple, we have a standard trap clap on the 2 and 4, nothing crazy. The rest of the drums is a bit more complicated, since I like to add a lot of movement through velocity changes and different offbeat sounds. Especially when making new jazz beats, you want to make sure you don't just use a basic 2-step hi-hat pattern, but rather work with these velocity changes and also pauses and rolls, since this pretty much always fits much better. I also use 2 different offbeat snares, which make the beat flow better. And of course, I added some open hi-hats where it felt right, because you can't really go wrong with these. And now let's go over to one of the most interesting parts of this beat, the 808. Now for new jazz, it's pretty common to use multiple different 808s, and this pattern consists of 4 different ones, with every single one having a different character to them. The first one is very present in mid-low frequencies, which give it a kind of grid. I use slide notes with a lower velocity to give it some movement and pauses at the end of the notes, because it just sounds cleaner. The second 808 sits very deep and sounds a bit like a sub bass. This one has a much cleaner sound and even plays in stereo. The third one also plays in stereo, but has a lot more punch to it. This is great to add rhythm that aligns with the drums. And lastly, we have an acid bass, which you can actually hear in a lot of new jazz beats. The trick I use in basically all of my beats, no matter the genre, is adding a slight clipping effect on the master. This gives the beat a kind of crunchy effect and makes the 808 hit even better. It also sounds a bit more professional and unique in my opinion. Here's a comparison. And that's already everything there is to this beat. I won't be going over the arrangement because it's very basic and not really worth mentioning. If you like this video, I suggest checking out some of my other videos in the style. And if you enjoy them, maybe consider helping me build a community by subscribing.
Okay, thank you.
And if you want, you can also type some video ideas and recommendations in the comments, so I know what I should maybe do in the future.